The senator from Rhode Island has talked about science, as Senator from Oklahoma has mentioned, and I'll just say that I agree with him, that the large body of science says that that man is contributing to global warming. Matter of fact, I'll even give to the senator from Rhode Island the fact that cap and trade may be a legitimate way for us to deal with this. And I think everybody in this body knows that I'm very open to looking at a legitimate cap and trade bill. What I would ask the senator from Rhode Island, though, and I know that he knows this subject well. He and I were in Greenland together. I know that his beautiful wife, Sandra, actually swims daily in the bay that he's talking about. So she knows well about those temperatures, and I know that they discuss this at great length. But if, in fact, we have this issue to deal with, why isn't the issue itself, by itself, good enough for us to focus on? Why is it that we create a bill that instead of focusing on cap and trade and lowering emissions in our country, why is it instead that we create a bill that brings trillions of dollars into the United States Treasury and then pre-spends that money from the year 2012 to 2050? Why would we do that? Isn't the issue by itself strong enough? This is the mother and father of all earmarks. And I have no understanding why anybody in this body would support legislation that prescribes trillions of dollars of spending. Secondly, why would the senator from Rhode Island support a bill where 27% of the allocations that are worth trillions of dollars, why would he support a bill that actually transfers those allocations, which in essence is a tremendous transference of wealth, to entities that have nothing whatsoever to do with lowering carbon emissions? Why would he support a bill like that? Again, I've seen a lot of people walking around here with nicely tailored suits and briefcases, and I know that they realize if they sit at the table, they're going to benefit themselves tremendously and be enriched in the process. But why would the senator not just support a cap and trade bill that returned the auction proceeds to the people of America that are going to be paying higher costs legitimately as a result of this bill? And the last piece, this is one that's very difficult for me to understand. Why would the senator from Rhode Island, my friend, who I love serving with, support a bill that pays, incents U.S. companies, instead of spending money here in our country on technology that lowers emissions here, encourages them to spend billions and billions of dollars in China that benefit that economy when we have tremendous trade deficits today? So what I would say is, again, I want to say it over and over and over. I respect the authors of this bill. I agree with the science. I think we are squandering a tremendous opportunity in this body because we're using old-time politics to win support for legislation that ought to be good enough on its own. And in the process, the American people are paying the tab. I think it's reprehensible that we are going about it in this fashion. I think today with gasoline prices at $4 a gallon, we have an opportunity. I think this is the perfect time to talk about this bill to marry responsible climate security with responsible energy security.
Senator, I have 1 minute left.
I have 1 minute left. The American people elected us, the senator from Rhode Island, Madam President, and all of us at the same time, to focus on the big issues of this country. We have a tremendous opportunity in this body to have a balanced climate security bill that doesn't take money out of the pockets of Americans forever and spend it through bureaucracies, but to tie that with energy security and do it in a way that everyone wants, in a way that creates growth and economic development in this country. And I think it's a shame that we are squandering that opportunity by having legislation on this floor that instead takes money from the American people, never returns it, builds a bureaucracy that doesn't exist, and damages our country for the next 40 years.
To my good friend, Senator Corker from Tennessee, I would say this. First, the basic principle of this legislation is that polluters should pay. And I would hope that every person in this room would agree with that. Polluting industries should not get away with causing global warming by releasing carbon pollution for free and having all the rest of us pay the cost of that. If you agree with the proposition that polluting industries should pay, then you have to, just as you suggested, figure out the best way to get the funds back to the American people. We try to do it in this bill in ways that step us into the green economy that we need for the future, and in ways that step us towards energy independence. The senator from Tennessee may disagree with these. That's what the debate is about. And if the minority would let us go to amendments, we could start discussing that. But that's not the way it is right now. We have to step forward. Senators Biden and Lugar, I believe, are going to come forward with foreign policy recommendations to make sure the rest of the country moves with us. I agree with the senator from Tennessee. We have to make sure the rest of the world moves with us, but we cannot wait for the rest of the world to move.